Hello, everybody, and welcome. So my name is Elliot, and we're here going to talk about designing and using AI and Canva to actually create content for yourselves. This can be for social media adverts, for regular social media posts, and there's just such a wide variety of things that you can use ChatGPT and Canva for. So first off, what I'd like to know, if you can let me know in the chat section, who actually uses ChatGPT or other AIs, and also who uses Canva to create assets for their social media content. So we're going to be specifically talking about ChatGPT today, but obviously some people use Claude and other things as well. But I'd love to know you guys' thoughts. Straight away, Michael there saying that he uses Claude and Canva. So this is going to be able to be used throughout. So we're going to be giving some basic prompts and things like that, and you can use that in Claude or ChatGPT. It'll work with that as well. It's not a problem. Copilot and Gemini, Lee's saying that as well. Lack could see you as well. ChatGPT, Claude, and many, many more. Yes. I think everyone started to create an AI themselves, isn't it? So saying, oh, we've got this AI and it works, but it's probably just ChatGPT itself. But it's very interesting. All right, fantastic. So what I want to do is I want you to let me know as well if you use it for creating adverts, for creating content, and if you use it for that. And when you do create this content, do you just directly copy and paste it and then post? Because I don't want to say it, but that's kind of an issue. And that's what I would like to talk to you guys about today a little bit as well, and how we can refine things. And it's always good to ChatGPT things. Yeah, fine. Use it to its best of your ability. But it's also good to un-ChatGPT things as well. So you always got to make sure that you are humanizing this content to make sure that it is not just AI slop, as people are calling it these days. Some people are saying that use both editing before posting. Yes, exactly that. Okay, perfect. So one of the biggest things and the biggest mistakes that people do use when using AIs and ChatGPT specifically is you are asking it vague questions. So what we want to do is we don't want to ask it vague questions. We want to be very specific when we're writing and talking to it. You can actually talk back and forth and bounce off it. Say, do you think this would work? What do you suggest? Can you adjust to make these suggestions a bit better? Or how can you do that? If you give it a prompt and you could say, what do you need from me to make it better? So you could, for example, ask it a question, create me some headlines or hooks for this social media advert. And then what do you need from me to make it to the best possible outcome or output? And then it will give you a list of questions, answer those questions, feed it back in, have it as like a conversation. So before we go any further, I want to make sure that everyone's got potentially maybe some notes and also, or maybe a Word document so you can actually make some notes, type them up, write them in, however you want to, because we're actually going to be doing this together. And I want you guys to kind of think about things as we go along. And that way we can then make sure that you've got something tangible that you can actually make actions with straight away after the call. Bill's here saying Canva for creating and uploading content, updating content, and ChatGPT for captions, or GPT for captions. Very cool. You just create a marketing plan and then still write my own copy. Oh, I like that because you can actually give you a rough idea of your content plan. And then from that, you can say, oh, okay, that's a good, I like that one. That one's rubbish. Let's use it. Let's not use it. Brilliant. So hopefully everyone's got a notepad and pen, or they've got a Word document open so you can make some notes. So what I want you to do is, most importantly, before using AI, you need to create a couple of things for, this is going to be for a social media advert that we're going to create today. Now, some people that came to one of our events earlier on a couple of months ago may have done something very similar. So you've got a little bit of a one-up here. But what I want you to do is, to get started, is to write down these key things. Now, what I want you to think about is, who is this advert for? So we're going to be creating a Facebook advert or Meta advert to advertise your school, but I want you to think about who your target audience is. For example, that could be kids ages 4 to 6, ages 7 to 12, or it could be for teens, adults, women's self-defense, something along those lines. Now, with that, obviously, you're not going to be putting your advert to the children themselves, because you have to be of a certain age to be on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So this will be parents of kids. So parents of kids ages 4 to 6, but you want to make it so it is appealing to them. So make a little note about who you want this advert to be specifically for. If it's going to be, I'd say, parents of kids ages 4 to 6, for example. I'm just looking over here because I've got some notes here that here's one I made earlier, so I'll have a look at that as well. Okay, so hopefully you've kind of thought about that, about your own school. So, for example, we're going to go with Nest Martial Arts. It's going to be for parents of children aged 6 to 10. Okay, now what I want you to do next is I want you to think about how you're going to define the message. All right, so what I want you to do now is write down or think about what problem does your martial arts school solve? What problem does your business solve? So, for example, that could be you help with confidence, you help with anti-bullying, fitness, discipline, social skills. It could be all of the above as well. And also think about what is the offer. So, are you going to be offering a free trial class? Most people will be a free trial class, or is it a 4-week beginner course? Is it an introduction program, the taster session, something like that? So, trying to think about what your offer is going to be. We give our parents an hour of freedom, Scott says there. I actually really like that. That's so good. So then actually they can actually just relax a little bit. Brilliant. I love it. So yeah, so what are you offering? Freedom. You can have a parents' date night on a Friday. So all the kids come to your school or your club, and then they can have some freedom to do whatever they want. Yeah, go for a nice meal or something. Amazing. So so far we've got our audience, our target audience. We've got our problem. What problem do you solve? And then what is the offer? So those 3 things are the most important. So a simple advert structure is what you need to think about. It's in kind of 3 steps. You've got your hook, and that is something that is going to grab the attention. That is the thumb stopper, which goes along with the creative asset, which we're going to create in a few moments' time. So, for example, we've got, is your child lacking confidence? That is your hook. That's the question. You've really got their attention straight away. Then you've got your problem, or the outcome is martial arts helps children build discipline and resilience. And then you've got your call to action, which would be book a free trial class today. So those 3 things, really simple. This is just really on the top level, keeping it as basic as possible. Those 3 things. You've got your hook, your problem / outcome, and then you've got your call to action. So, for example, I say lacking confidence, shy in groups, too much screen time, all these things is what parents are thinking about and something that you can really help them with. And obviously here we've got martial arts clubs all over the UK, and it's so brilliant what you do. So really should be proud of what you do. And I know you're so passionate about it. So really talking and letting that passion shine through with your content, be that adverts or social media, organic content as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually jump into ChatGPT now. And if you want to follow along and do it yourself, you can. If you want to just watch as well, it's totally up to you. No problem at all. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, so if you can let me know if you can see my screen, hopefully you can. Okay, so we are now in ChatGPT. So as I say, I've got ChatGPT open here, and I've got a profile already created. But what I want to do is I've got some copy that I've already created, a prompt that I've already created that I'm going to copy and paste it into ChatGPT. So this here, it says, write a Facebook advert for a martial arts school. School name, Nest Martial Arts. Location, Nottingham. Target audience, parents of children aged 6 to 10. Focus is building confidence and discipline. The problem is what I said earlier, children lacking confidence, shy in groups, too much screen time. And the outcome is to be more confident, focused, active, and social. The offer is a free trial class. And then the tone, this is quite interesting, is to be friendly, reassuring, community focused. Okay, and I just want to check to make sure that you can see me. Yes, you can see my screen. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not doing this to nobody. Okay, and then what I put here is include a strong hook, clear benefits, and a simple call to action. So this is really top level. This is a brand new, fresh chat. So we'll press send, and then we'll see what that comes up with. Okay, so it's come up with quite a bit here, which is really nice. So here it says, Is your child lacking confidence or glued to a screen? So that is, I think, already a brilliant hook. Straight away, well, yes, I can't get them off the Xbox. I can't get them off the PC, always playing Fortnite, whatever it may be. At Nest Martial Arts Nottingham, so you've got your name of who you are and the location. We help children aged 6 to 10, target audience, into confident, focused, and active individuals, all in a fun, supportive environment. That's really going to appeal to the parents because you're obviously clearly stating that it's going to be fun and it's a supportive environment that just, is building more confidence based on your expertise and your school that you create. So it's really important to have. Our classes are designed to build real confidence, not just in class, but at school and beyond. So you're learning these life skills that you can take on outside of school, which, you all do, which is amazing. Improve focus and discipline, get kids active and off screens, help them to make new friends and feel a part of a community. And I think community is really important because that's who you are. You want to make sure that you are as active as possible in the community and helping as many people as possible. So that's really interesting to see as well. We understand that every child is different. That's why our instructors create a welcoming space where even the shyest children can come out of their shell and thrive. Try it for yourself for a free trial class. No pressure, it's just a chance to see the difference it can make. Click below to book your child's free trial today and take the first steps towards being a more confident, active future. So I think that is absolutely brilliant. So that really makes it so you can really clearly see how it works. Do you want me to paste the prompt into here? Yes, that's a great idea. I will do that. So I've just pasted the prompt into the chat. Hopefully everybody can see that. I've just moved my chat to the side, so now I can actually see you guys as well. Okay, so this is obviously, I copied and pasted it for myself. So based on obviously example school, but you can just change it so it will be school name and then talk about your school location. Obviously, make sure you adjust as and when to make it appropriate for you. Okay, so now we've got our first basic output from ChatGPT. What we want to do is, yes, ChatGPT is great, but as I say, you want to then humanize it and you want to refine the process. You want to improve the copy and just adjust accordingly. Okay, so what I want to do next is want to improve the following advert. So if we say to ChatGPT here, improve the advert, and then you could say, make it, and this is what I copied and pasted that I made earlier. So you can make it shorter and clearer, more engaging to parents, easy to understand within 2 seconds, stronger call to action. So I actually, ironically, kind of like what we've already got. I'm just going to copy and paste what I've just said into the chat as well. Funny enough, it's actually first time has been pretty good, but we'll do this anyway. We'll see what it comes up with. And then from there, we can mix and match, we can adjust, we can use what we like. So I'll just press send there and see what it comes up with. So straight away, it's adjusted. So it's made it way shorter, which I'm not sure, actually, that might be more beneficial because people's attention spans are very quick right now. So having something that is also formatted quite well is quite important because you want to make sure that people can really skim read your content so they know exactly the main points straight away. So is your child shy, lacking confidence, or always on the screen? So I believe that is very similar. Glued to the screen, always on a screen. At Nest Martial Arts Nottingham, we help children aged 6 to 10 grow confidence, focus better, and stay active, all while having fun and making friends. Build confidence, improve focus and discipline, get them active and social. Book free trial class today. Tap below to secure your child's place now. Limited spaces available. So that's giving a little bit of fear of missing out as well. So it's quite interesting there straight away to think, well, there's limited space available, which, there will be limited spaces because I'm sure if you've got a full class, you can only take 1 or 2 potentially new prospects on. So having that actually is quite interesting as well. So out of interest, I'd love to let you get your thoughts. What do you think of this second version that we've refined compared to the first version? If you want to put which one you prefer, 1 or 2 in the chat, That would be really interesting, just to see your thoughts, because I actually think it's refined it quite well. It's really made it more simplistic. So you don't have to worry about people not getting all the information they need because they can get it quite quickly. Michael here said, for Facebook advert for 1, for an Insta advert for 2. Bill said for first Facebook advert, second for Instagram caption. Very interesting. And it's interesting you said that, Bill, because that's what I was going to mention later on as well, but you've jumped the gun, which is amazing. So you creating this advert so far, and you're posting it as an advert, but you can actually use this as a organic social media post as well. And it's a really great way to have your advert, and then you have that post, and then that can be on your page and it can be pinned to the top. So then, for example, when somebody clicks on your advert and then they see your page, this is pinned at the top and they know, okay, I'm in the right place. This is the correct journey, and it's helping the user journey know that they're going to the right area, shows that you're active, and obviously you need to make sure that you're keeping up with your content generally organically, so people know that if you've got something that's a post from 2021, they know, oh, is this place even still open? I've clicked on the advert, yes, but is that an old advert? Have they forgot? It's always making sure that they know that they're in the right place. All right. So Lack said that he agrees. So hopefully let's agree with me. Let's for now we'll stick to this. But what we can do is let me just get my document open now. So at the moment, I really like the title, the hook, so to speak. So what I want to do now is I want to generate more hooks for this advert specifically. Okay. So what I'm going to do is here's another copy and paste thing that I'm going to send. I'll send it to you guys in the chat as well. So this new prompt says, give me 10 short scroll stopping hooks for martial arts advert. And then I'm going to then copy and paste this advert that we've already just created. And then if I put that here, and I always put it in quotes just because then it's clearly showing that in speech marks that this is the actual advert and the copy that you've written. And then it says target audience, parents of ages 6 to 10, same as before, confidence and anti-bullying. Keep each hook under 10 words, clear and easy to read, suitable for social media. All right. So now I'm going to press send, and then we'll see what that comes up with. So obviously we're changing it a little bit slightly. We were talking about lacking confidence, but also being off the screen. And then it's come up with, here's the 10. Is your child lacking confidence? So straight away, quite simple. Help your child stand up to bullying. Confidence starts here. From shy to confident. Build confidence that lasts. Is your child being picked on? I think that's quite interesting, because that's really interesting, because that's going to immediately get the parents thinking like, oh, is my child being picked on? And then that would potentially open a line of communication, things like that. So you're even helping just by talking about the subject. More confidence, less worry. I like that one. Stronger kids, inside and out. Confidence your child can feel. Turn screen time into strength. Wow, I actually really like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these as well, put them in the chat, and then you can have a nice little document with all these saved in as well. And what I recommend is it's always building upon things. So you could say, turn your screen time into strength, and say you really like that as a hook. And then you can say, okay, use this. Do you know what? Let's do it. Let's use this and do it. Let's create a new advert based on this hook, right? And then I'm going to speech marks and then provide the hook. We can say, improve the previous outputs. I can't spell. Outputs you've already created. Okay, so improve the previous outputs you've already created. So that's what ChatGPT now is going to do. It's going to think about all the outputs that it's already given, and then it's going to use that as reference to create its own thing. And I've just seen somebody posted as well. Michael's from Claude. Is your child afraid to speak up? Bullies target kids who don't. Confidence is a skill. We teach it. I like that one. What if your child walked taller tomorrow? Shy kid, we've heard that before. Watch this. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I really like that. Some great ones there. So based on what I've said here about the turning your screen time into strength, it's had a nice little emoji here. If your child is glued to a screen or lacking confidence, it's time for a change. I really like that. At Nest Martial Arts Nottingham, we help children become more confident and focused, resilient in a fun, friendly environment where they feel belong. So that's where it's referenced to what we had earlier, the first outcome, which a lot of people and I agree. We quite like that, didn't we? So that's good. Build real confidence, learn to stand up to bullying, get active, focused, and social. Book a free trial class, can't speak. Tap below to secure your child's place, limb space available. So it's kind of mixed a little bit of the two together. I think it's structured quite well because there's the first line here with a nice emoji, quite attention grabbing. One single line, which is a powerful sentence to have as your second line. Bit more information about who you are, where you are, and what you do exactly. And when you are creating your content, you've got to think, what do people want from me? What am I going to provide them? People, all they want to know is what you're going to give them. What are the benefits? So really think about being benefits led to create all your content, because that's what they want to know. And then again, you've got this little list. Now I'm on dark mode, but there are tick emojis here as well. You might not be able to see them. So it's kind of really again, making it skimmable so people can have a little look, they can scroll through and they can really read it and get the important information straight away. Book for a free trial class, another emoji. Not sure if that one's really needed. And then this arrow, pointing them to the call to action right there at the bottom. So I do like this personally. There we go. We'll give it a little tick, which hasn't registered. That's fine. Don't worry. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, I think we're going to stick with this one. This is quite a nice one. I do like it. And then, as I say, you can then adjust to then create new versions. So create different variations, things like that. So that's quite nice. So let's say we're going to stick with this one. And I've got another prompt here. And this here, I will, again, copy and paste it into the chat. So here, it says, write 3 versions of a Facebook advert for martial arts school, which we're going to then copy and paste this version in. Again, I'm going to be adding these speech marks as well. And then it says here, school name. And then it says version 1, focus on confidence. Version 2, focus on anti-bullying. Version 3, focus on fitness. Then it talks about target audience, which we've already mentioned already. Keep each version short, clear, suitable for social media with a call to action. So we already have this information, but it's always making sure that you are reiterating these things, because I don't know if anybody knows, but with the memory feature with ChatGPT, for example, it says that it will remember everything for you. But actually what it does, every time you press enter or send a prompt, it's actually rereading everything that it's done at once. So if you have like a really long chat, I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this, it might suddenly start to forget things. So it might suddenly not mention that it's from Nest Martial Arts, for example, and that's because it's forgot, inverted commas, that information. So reiterating this kind of stuff on a regular basis really helps it to rejig its memory, so it will remember that. Okay, so we're going to press enter and we'll see what that comes up with. Okay, so one thing I will mention as well, and I've noticed it already with the previous outputs, ChatGPT loves an EM dash. This here is called an M dash or EM dash. It's like a double dash. One thing I would recommend, it also likes to put dashes in a lot of different things. See here, grow in self-belief. Now, self-belief probably actually does have a dash, but sometimes it will do like a random dash in things that a normal person, would not actually add in that dash. So when you are adjusting these things, be sure to, for example, 6 to 10, just remove that EM dash and turn it into just a regular dash, and remove this dash because you can turn it into a comma or maybe a new line, because people will scroll through and they'll see this ChatGPT and then they'll just ignore it. So it's really interesting to think about, are people actually going to read this content or they're going to think it is this AI slop. But here we go. It's got confidence focus, so turn screen time into strength. Your child lacking confidence, talks about who we are. Confidence, feel happier in groups, growing self-belief. I really like that as well. Secure your child's space. Version 2 was the anti-bullying focus. Worried about your child might be being picked on, so we like that one, didn't we? It's talking about how we talk about confidence and resilience to handle bullying and stand strong. Build inner confidence. I like that. Learn to stand up for themselves, feel safer and more secure. And then the third variation was the fitness focused. Too much screen time, let's change that. So they burn energy, build healthy habits while having fun, get active and fit, improve focus and energy, make new friends. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts on these. I think they're pretty good, actually. That's good. Okay, so what we're going to do is, before we go into Canva, what I think we should do is we can use ChatGPT one last time. So what I'm going to do is, this is another prompt that I can share for you all as well. And this here says, create a simple advert text for martial arts graphic, right? So this is for the actual asset that we're going to use. So I think that I really like the one that we mentioned about too much screen time. I like that one. Worried your child might be being picked on. The anti-bullying focus. I think that's a really good message. So we're going to copy and paste this one. Oh, is there a slight problem copying them from the chat? You should be able to highlight it and get it from that way. So do apologize if you can't get access to that. Michael said that he's been managing to copy them okay. So what you can do, take a screenshot. If you have an iPhone, for example, you can take a screenshot on your phone, and then you can then put that in your photos, and then you can then copy and paste it that way, if that helps. There we go. Okay, so here we're going to, as I say, create a simple advert text for martial arts graphic. This is the advert itself. Include a headline, maximum 6 words, one short supporting sentence, a call to action, and then it's got a target audience, the focus, the offer. This is going to be actually not confidence, it's going to be anti-bullying. Regular dash, anti-bullying. Offer free trial class. Keep it simple and clear for a social media image. So this here, we're going to be creating an image through ChatGPT, and then we're going to be actually be creating it on Canva to create our own version, because you may have noticed as well, there's a lot of AI images around, and that is also could be a plus because it's of ease of use. It's really quick to make, but a lot of people see an AI image and just go, oh, and then scroll through. So what I like to do is think about how you can use ChatGPT for inspiration and then make your own version based on what it comes out with. So we'll have a look, see what it comes up with. So this is what it's going to come up with. Let's press enter. There we go. Really simple, nice and easy, which you probably could have created anyway, but it's come up with it. So the headline will be, turn screen time into strength, help your child build confidence and stand up to bullying, book a free trial today. Nice and simple, isn't it? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into Canva. So a couple of people said that you mentioned it, that you used Canva earlier. So just one more time, let me know if you do use Canva. We're going to be using specifically the paid version, but you can actually use, obviously, the free version. It's just going to be some slight limitations with that as well. Okay, yes. So a couple of people saying that they're using it. Yep, use it. Okay, perfect. Yep, use it as well. All right, so if you want to follow along, you can do it this way as well. But if you go into Canva, use to pay to image filter images, pictures of classes, overlay captions, wherever I like it. So this is your main dashboard. And then what you want to do is go into social media. And basically, you can actually use this post for the majority of social media platforms. For example, if you're on Instagram and Facebook
and LinkedIn. But for the advert, it's going to be slightly different, which I'll talk about in a moment. But once you click on social media, I like to design most things as in this new Instagram post, which is 4:5 aspect ratio, which in pixels is the 1080 by 1350. But as I say, in Canva, it's already done for you. So you would click on that, and here you've got your design here. Now I am going to flick over to one that I made earlier. So this is what it naturally comes up with when you first arrive in Canva. This should be minimizing. Here we go. So here on the bottom right hand corner, it says pages. I personally am not the biggest fan of having it this way. So I click this button here in the bottom right hand corner, and it will turn it into more of a page that you can then just scroll through everything. So here, I've done the most important thing, which I'm going to tell you in a second, but you can actually scroll through and see it instead of going across like it's like a little, like a presentation. This is kind of like a presentation. So I like to click that off personally. You can also press this grid view here, and that will take you to an overview of everything that you've got, all the different pages you've got within your design. Now, Canva used to be able to you used to have one single page as the Instagram page, and then you had to have a new design as the landscape version and a square version. But they actually added something, a newish feature where you can add a new page here. You can press this down arrow here. That will open up this selection box. Here, you can then go to more options and custom. So once again, you can pick a document or a presentation or a video, social media. You can press more, for example, custom size, and say you wanted it 100 pixels by 100 pixels. You can then create a new page, and that's now created a brand new page. I've gone, it's got very tiny as 100 pixels, but it's added that page for me here. So you can have all of your designs and all of your elements and pages, assets in one design folder. So you don't have to keep going to a new page, going to a new design, having this one. This is for Instagram. This is for Facebook. It can all be in one location. I'm just going to delete that there. So going back to this first page, one of the most important things to do in Canva is, and with every asset creation that you create, is all about naming your files. So make sure that you organize things as much as possible. It sounds like really silly, really stupid, but it's so important to give it a title. So right here, I've called it Canva Training. So that means if I don't have another title in anything else, it will call it, the asset, when I download it, Canva Training. And from there, I actually at least know, oh, it's from when I created the Facebook advert. So if you wanted to put, it's always good to put a date as well. So you could have social media advert, April 2026. Now, because you've got that, that's then going to be saved, and then you've got your assets. You can actually know where it is and what it is. To download a design, once you've finished it, you go to the share button on the top right corner. You click here, and then you press download, and then it will come up with a few different options. So for the file type, if it's going to be a static image, you want a PNG. If you're going to create like a flyer, you can have like a PDF. If you're going to have a video, obviously, and before, if you can create GIFs as well. But PNG is one we want now. You can then also decide which pages you want to have. So if you want to have just the current page, which is page 1, you tick that, or the other options. So you want it all, press done, and then you press download, and that will download it and save it to your downloads folder. From your downloads folder, again, I recommend to create a folder within your computer, be you on Mac or PC, and just have an area where you can have like your business, you've got your brand, you've got imagery, you've got social media adverts. Having this organization within the top level of things just makes it so much easier in the future. Hopefully, you're all with me so far. Okay, so this is page 1, talking about organizing and titling. At page 1 here, you can actually give it a name. So I've called this Instagram 4:5, 1080 by 1920. This is because this is the size of the actual asset that's going to be. Now, page 2, I've created another page by doing what I mentioned earlier, by going to a new page and then creating custom dimensions. This is landscape. Now, Facebook are really trying to cut down on having the same asset and then it crops it for you. But that can really distort the image. So having a time where you can actually create it and duplicate it multiple times is quite good. So having your first page as the 1080 by 1350, second page as landscape, which is going to be on like a YouTube video or something like that, which is 1920 by 1080. And page 3, which is going to be a square page, which is 1080 by 1080. So that's just totally a square page. Now, what we can do is we can add a new page. So you go, once again, new page, and then you go to more. And if you had the width, obviously left to right, which is 1080, and then the height is 1920. This is the opposite of the YouTube video. This should be the portrait mode. So I'm just going to move that, which you can just drag and drop. You can then move it to a new location. So here, now we've got I can just scroll out a little bit, a longer version. This is a portrait mode. So this is going to be portrait, and that is 1080 by 1950. 1920, sorry. There we go. So now we've got that titled, and then that's what we can use. So with Facebook, you need a portrait version, which is this one. You need a landscape version, which is this one here, the 1920 by 1080, and then a square version, which is 1080 by 1080. That means you're optimizing your advert as much as possible, because if you're going to create an advert and pay for an advert, you want to make sure that it's getting the most impact as possible and it's reaching the most people as well. So having these different variations will really make it so it's going to be as optimized as possible. All right, so some other things with Canva, which is really nice. You may know already, but they have some amazing templates. So here in the templates, you can search martial arts, and then it will come up with some templates and some ideas what martial arts will be. Now you can use any of these. On the bottom right-hand corner of each template, it will have this little crown, or it will not have the crown. If it has the crown, that means that it is a premium asset. So from us here at Nest, we have the pro version of Canva. So we can actually use this one if we wanted to, and it will add it in to the design. Don't want to use that one just yet. But if you have the free version, then you won't be able to use that one. Something that you can do quite cheekily is if you add it to the design, you can then create a new page by pressing add page at the top. And then you can see if you can find free assets that look similar to this paid design, and then maybe potentially recreate it yourself. Don't tell anybody I said that though. So that's a little bit of a way you can be a bit cheeky and use it to your advantage. All right. So what I've done here though is, here's one I made earlier. Here's one I prepared earlier. This is me being from Blue Peter. So this is a Instagram post that I found from a template. This was a paid template, as you can see here. But I personally think that this has got a lot of words on it. So I think we can adjust this to make it based on our prompt that we made in ChatGPT earlier to adjust. I know it's a Kaido. Now, I also think that some people might think that it's not Kaido because of this image that we've used here. So I will say I'm not a professional in Kaido itself, so it might be a Kaido, but I've usually seen a different type of uniform for their lessons. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete that image there, and we're going to replace it. So if you go into elements, and then you can type in the the elements that you want. So for example, a Kaido, and then I can see these. Go into photos itself. Now we can look at graphics, we can look at videos, we can look at all sorts. So some of these videos are quite cool. But again, it's nothing that I want to use right now. Potentially this is more karate side of things. This here is judo. So we're going to go into photos, and then you can scroll through. And I saw one earlier. Hopefully it will appear here as well. So these are looking more like it, aren't they? So there is one I used earlier, which I'm trying to find, which now, of course, I'm not going to be able to find, am I? I think I had it recently used. Let's have a look. Here we go. Yes. So this here is going to be more the Akai style that I wanted to use for this specific asset. Now, again, you can edit in Canva and you can use the premium tools, for example, background remover. So this is going to be really useful for this type of design that we're creating here based on the template that we've found. So I'm going to click the remove background and there we go. It's removed the background. Now, what I want to do is this one here. This is another version that I've created it to be the landscape version, but this is that same asset. This is black and white, and I really like the black and white style that we've got there. So I'm going to click on the picture that I've removed the background. Top left here of the center console here, I'm going to click edit. And then on the left hand side, it's come up with those different things. Now, I really like to use some of these different things to add in, like you can do magic layers, you can add or remove things, which is very interesting. The background remover we've already done. But this is a real simple. We're going to go to filters, see all. And then we're going to find a mono or black and white version here. So right here, look, mono. So let's do a classic. Let's make it black and white. You can do like maybe an ink version that looks a bit better. You can change the intensity. So maybe if we have a little bit of color coming through. And there's my asset now. And then you can crop. If I did this look, it'll crop this man off. But kind of like the fact that they're all there together. I know we're talking, this is not going to be a kids class, but you get the idea. We can shrink them down a little bit and add them to where we want them to be. Just little adjustments here and there. I think that looks quite good. Let's make sure we have his sleeve in there as well. So now we're a little bit more happy with how it looks. All of these elements are adjustable. Somebody who has created this template has added this in and they've put it to the corner. So it snaps into place, which is really nice. If I wanted this to be in the middle, I can do. And that line there, that purple line down the middle, really clearly states where it is. And you can see that everything's going to be aligned. And then there's like numbers where there's a 49 pixel area between the word workshop and then the word discipline, or the box that goes around it. So I really like how it tells you all this kind of stuff here. Really interesting stuff. If you click the text, for example, you can obviously change your text here, your size, and then you can have your position. When you click position here, it will pull up on the left-hand side. Now we can then bring it forward, bring it back. You can move to the top of the page, to the left of the page. It can adjust. I'm just pressing Control Z to go back. Now, I really like the layers section. Now, this has got every single asset that's on this page, and it's telling me where they all are. So, for example, let me click on our picture that we had earlier. If I move this picture down to the very back, to the very bottom, it's actually going to put them behind this semicircle item element. So we don't want that. We want that in the middle. I want them right at the front and center. So there we go. That's come up there as well. Is everyone with me so far? Any questions in the chat at the moment with how I'm showing you a bit of Canva 101 as well? So what we can do is we can come to our ChatGPT, turn time into strength. Because I titled it Canva Training, I know that that's the right one. So we can say Aikido, turn screen time into strength. Now, this here is a lot. And I think actually the text is quite difficult to read. Yes, it's below, but we can have a look at that. So again, let's maybe change it to this one. Not sure if that's easier or not. So you could then say Aikido, turn screen time into strength. Then you can really adjust this here. You can then have this into Nest Martial Arts. The sizes again. Yes, I can give you the sizes again. So for a social media post is Instagram, which is 4:5, which is 1080 by 1350. 1080 by 1350. This is for a general social media post. You've got your landscape version, which is landscape 1920 by 1080. It says it here, 1920 by 1080. That's landscape. And then you've got a square version, which for some reason is flashing on my screen. But that is 1080 by 1080. How interesting. That's weird. Let's do a quick refresh, see if that fixes that one. So once again, square is 1080 by 1080. Okay. Now I've refreshed and they're all not loading. Typical, isn't it? Oh, there we go. They should be down here. Yes, they have. I was too high up. Need to scroll down. Okay. So what I think we need to do is, this is specifically about a workshop. We're going to get rid of that. I'm going to say it's going to be in Nottingham. And then we're going to go back to our ChatGPT. Help your child build confidence, stand up to bullying. Copy and paste that. I'm going to change this to this area here, which has added way too much wording. So I'm going to actually remove this box here, adjust it here, and keep that in the middle. So if, for example, this is at the side, again, I can go to position, and then I can go to middle, center, and that's taking it directly in the center and the middle of the whole design. But I can then click it, hold shift, and move up, and it will keep it in the same location. So now it should be still centered, but it won't be middle. See how center is grayed out because I can't move it. Again, if I click middle, it will take it back to there, which we don't want to do, obviously. And then it's in Nottingham. Now, with this specific design, I think this will look so much better if all of this was moved down. So I'm going to select all of these, and then I can group them because I like the spacing between each one. Now this is one single asset. So I can now move this down and adjust it. So now it's in the middle. And that's really standing out. I think the Nest martial arts can go a little bit lower. And then on our ChatGPT, it says book free trial today. That's the only other piece of information it's saying. So, we'll stick with what ChatGPT says for now. Now I think it might be a bit too bare bones. So could we think about ungrouping this? And then we can then move this to the side for now. We could then add this to the other side here. We can highlight the text and say we want it to be left aligned. So now it's on the left. So here I just press that just like you would in Word. And then we can then kind of adjust as and where we think it will be important. It can be Nottingham. So keynote turn screen time in strength. Potentially, we want to highlight the turn screen time in strength, which I like being red. So we can change the color to be a blue color for Aikido. And then that really kind of like stands out the turn screen time in strength. Now, one thing that's really cool with Canva itself, you can talk about colors, you can create a brand guidelines for your stuff here. So you can press brand here, and you can actually add in loads of different stuff. So you can add in your brand colors, brand kit. Now what you can do is when you're in your brand, we want to be in our Nest one. You can look at your colors and your logos. Now you can press this shuffle button. If I press shuffle, what that's going to do is actually going to change the words and the whole design into elements based on our brand colors. If I press it a couple of times, we could have it with pink, with one of our colors, or obviously orange is our main brand color, kind of like the blue there. But again, I could then adjust this and change this main text to our Nest orange. And again, that stands out quite well. We had the red before, but I think being on brand and staying on brand, having the orange works quite well. And that will just make it so it's so easy to just shuffle the colors. Obviously here we've got our call to action, which will be our number, and then our website. You can add all that in as well. And then what I would do then is you can highlight everything by Control A, and then Control C, and you can go into your landscape, which I'm just going to create a new version of. You can move them up and down designs as well, like this. Say I want this one here. I can press paste. Now the background was blue on the one above, so choosing that background to a blue background. It's here, and then we can then adjust as we see fit to make it so the elements on this page fit how we want it. Now, obviously, you're going to have to make it slightly different to make it fit for the landscape compared to being on the portrait or the square, because you've got more real estate here. So you need to make sure that you're really clearly making it so the text is a bit bigger. You can then use more space here. We can make all this much bigger to be spotted in, to be seen. Obviously, this is all very rough, but you can then figure out how you want it to be. This is what I did earlier with the original one. And again, I adjusted to be in the square one as well. So there we go. That is that so far. So then with that, we can then go to share, download, and then we can choose the page that we want. So we don't want all of these pages. We specifically want, for example, page 6 and page 7. Press done, download, and then that will then download those assets, and that will be in your file manager. You can press that to find out where it is, and then it comes into a zip folder. And then once you are in that folder here, you then got your assets that look like this. And then when you're in Facebook, obviously, you can then adjust. Now, because I created a new page, this is now just called it 7 because it's the 7th page here. So I should have practiced what I preach when I created the new page. I didn't title it. So because I didn't title it, it's now come up with one is called Instagram 1080 by 1350, but the other one is just called page 7. So what we'd want to do there is we'd go into this one and title it the correct wording. So then we know that they're going to be, this one's the landscape version, this is the Instagram version, just to make it so it's so much easier for you when you're actually uploading things as well. Okay, so what I would say, obviously, when you're using Canva is to avoid lots of clutter and try to make it as simplistic as possible. I think this was a lot. This looks better on the landscape version because there's more real estate space. The square one, it's a bit squashed, I think. So really try to make it as simple as possible. So when somebody is scrolling, they can straight away see, oh, it's a kind of, it turns screen time into strength. And it really kind of stops them straight away. All right. Michael's got to go. That's not a problem. We're going to be finishing in just a couple of seconds anyway, so not a problem. But thank you so much for joining. So I'd say just making it as clear as possible and just having some different generations with ChatGPT that you can create as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now. So yes, that is basically everything that we've run through ChatGPT to Canva as well. Has anybody got any questions that you can think of that you want to ask me while you're here? Once again, we're saying about how you want to think about who the advert's for, what problem are you solving, what is the offer. Write in ChatGPT, work back and forth with ChatGPT to create the copy and the content. Make sure you're keeping an eye of not overusing emojis because it likes to use emojis. Those EM dashes and those dashes, try to adjust those as well. And try to making things as simple as possible so you can, somebody scrolling through knows exactly what it is as soon as they see it. Attention span is a little bit low with people, so give them what they need. Talk about that offer that you can provide them as well. And just test these things. It's all about A/B testing. So using something that works well, see if that works. If it doesn't, try the other version. So having different test versions. Mark here said, you made a video advert using Canva. Is it possible to add a transition between clips, please? So, interesting enough, do you know what? I'm going to share my screen again. Now you've mentioned it. Hopefully, all of our clients should be watching our marketing monthly videos. And now our marketing monthly videos, if I can see if I can find those here, I made a simple marketing monthly. We do a video every month, and through that, there's a slight transition that I've created. Now I turn this into a bit of an MP4, and each one of these is a new page. Okay, so if I go to play this, it's literally just adding the animations in for this month, and then the next one is online. It's got an intro and outro for each one. So, for example, if I click on the asset, you can press animate here, and on the left hand side, it comes up with the different types of animation. I liked for this version specifically the scrapbook effect. If you hover over it, it will show you how they all come in, and then you can do an in and an out on enter or exit or both. So from there, I then exported each one individually. And then when I edit the video, I can then add this in. You can press this little bit here, which is a plus, or add transition. So you can add a bit of a dissolve or slide. It kind of moves through. These are other different transitions ideas that you can use to go through as well. So potentially something you can use like that when you're creating. This is in the pages view rather than what I was saying, which is in just the regular scroll view. So just on the bottom right here to see the thumbnails. When you're in a video, that's how you can find these transitions. I hope that helped. Okay. Well, if anybody needs anything to do with video editing or Canva editing or ChatGPT, you're more than welcome to give the office a call and you can talk to myself, Elliot. Or we have a booking link on the marketing toolkit, and you're more than welcome to use that as well. So make sure you check out the marketing toolkit for our clients there as well, and you can book some time in with me to get a call in as well. And if you're not an S client, you're more than welcome to give us a call, and we can help you. Even if you want to give a call just for something like this as well, I'm more than happy to give you a little bit of some advice as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, just send over a message or give the office a call. But if you want to even just share in the Nest Management community group as well, what you're actually creating, that would be so useful. And, we've got the community group, so use it to your advantage and help, and we can all help each other to learn different things, what's working for you, what isn't working as well. So yes, thanks so much, and we'll see you all on the next webinar. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. All right, everybody. Bye.